page. And what I've done is kept this as a single page website. So there is a thing, an idea where you have a small business and you don't need a 5-page website and you want a really powerful single page website. So your homepage also acts as your web page. It can do that. They're very similar, a little bit more detail, a few more things included, and that's what we're going to do today. So if you remember what your website is and what it's there to do, it's there to do a couple of things. One, it's there to tell people what you do, show them how you're going to make a difference in your life. Another thing it's going to do is to make them like you and trust you, right? The other thing it's going to do is build trust and build likability, like I said before, and credibility. You know, can you do what you say you do? Can you prove it? And for it to do all of these things, it has to be really easy to read. And one of the key principles when we're talking about copywriting is I like writing, and I'm a very visual person. So one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit today, and I don't expect you to do this or to know about it, but I just want to mention it, is called you-centered messaging. So I think I definitely spoke about it in other webinars I've done for Orjet. A lot of websites we go onto, and it's we believe, we think, we feel, right? Let me tell you something. Your website visitor has 12 tabs open. If they're anything like me, they've got their WhatsApp out there. They don't care about you. They're there to solve their own problem. And we really want to, like a quick way to fix up your copy and your website and any messaging you're doing to your clients, is shift everything from we to you. And if it's we, shift it to how it makes a difference to you, to them. So you get, you achieve, you benefit. So this is really a very fundamental principle of copywriting, any copywriting, and especially websites. As soon as you go onto a website and you see we believe, we feel, we think, your brain immediately switches off, because you're not there to learn what they feel and they think. You're there to get your problem solved now. And we really, what I'm going to do is, number one, show you how to structure your website. And number two, how to actually format it so it's readable. So whether you're building it in WordPress or in Webflow or you're building it yourself, it's totally fine. But what we really want to move away from is chunks of paragraph of text, because no one's going to read them. So let's go step by step. If anyone wants to put their information in the chat, they can. Okay, so your heading is your, let's go into a random website and see what your heading is. I'll just go into the one I was actually just reading myself. And your heading is really important because it summarizes what you do and it calls people who they are. There's lots of science behind us, but I'm not going to go into it. Let's keep it really simple. So this is a CRM system, project management system. It's a really cool tool for freelancers and small businesses. And it says more busyness, less busy work. Okay, so it's talking directly to people who are involved in busyness. More business, less busy work, and then it explains to you a little bit what you do. So I'm going to keep it really, really simple for you. Now, what I want you to do is go back to your, the other very important thing is clear over clever. You're not here to be clever. You're not here to win a Lurie Award. You're not here for any of that. You're here to clearly explain what you do. So I'm copying and pasting this from the other document. And your heading, you want to keep really simple. And you can pop in the chat what you do, and I can help you work on that. Okay, so so what for whom, does what for whom, doing this with this benefit. Okay, so it's really about the benefit and who we do it for and what we do. Right? We really want to give a clear indication of that. So last week we really solidified what we do and what the benefit is. And now we are going to put it into a simple words. We're going to keep this clear, simple, like maximum 10 words, and go from there. So does anyone want to try something out? No judgment, you guys aren't copywriters, but I want to really help you get this out. So if we're talking about
Eliana?
Yes.
Would it be possible to have a look at my website?
Well, your one now?
Yeah.
So what's the website called?
Animate.co.za.
Oh, great. I love working with live examples.
Sorry, it's ANIM and the number 8.
Sorry, may I just, okay, yes, Lurie has muted. Thank you.
No, mate, okay, it's a bit of a tricky, like that?
Yes.
So your website's loading very slowly.
No, that's not
Is
it.
your
Yeah.
okay. Okay, the first thing you want to do, look at your loading time. We will create, okay, so great. This is a good start. We will create a compelling service of your product or service for only 800 Rand. Okay, so let's work on that. So let's kind of put it into one of these. Let's put it into one of these. Does what for whom? Okay, so high quality. Quality. Motion videos. Really kept that really simple. High quality, cost effective promotion videos.
Eliana, I can see I'm going to have to get you to come and do all the content on my page or read.
What else you'd want to do here is put a picture of something. It's very, you want to keep something like standard a bit, and you want to there wants to be a picture or something that it's like a bit. I don't know what you created this in. What is it?
It was done on WordPress.
Okay, so you'd want to look at kind of like a picture of your team, a picture of your work, or something like that. Then it's great that you've got a CTA there. That's your call to action. Can't get in touch. Just see where that goes. Okay, great. You've got a pop up there. Okay, so to be honest with you, this looks like I wouldn't trust this website just because of how it's laid out. There's no picture in the header. And it just doesn't look credible. Every single website you go on to will have some kind of like, if you go onto your competitors, promotional videos, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just want to show you what's out there. Okay, so we go into here. Okay. High quality form. Okay, we can go for affordable here. Okay, so you really want to look at your layout. Is actually it's equally important. You don't need to get a fancy layout, but you could buy a template or something, affordable promotional videos. Okay, and then your subheading goes into a little bit more detail about what you do. So we create and what's the word?
A compelling.
What's the word? Well, we create and publish, or I don't know. We create and publish videos that get your brand noticed. Okay, so you want to talk about your benefit there. All businesses. Okay, so anyone who's writing with me want to share another example in the chat of what they're going for? This is also a horrible website. Sorry to tell you. Okay. So this is okay. I would stay away from videos in your header just for loading time. And anyone else wanted to try with your head down? So remember, what you do, who you do it for. Don't try to be clever. Don't try to be like smart. Don't try to be like witty or punny. You've got to be super clear. You basically have 5 seconds to capture people's attentions. High quality and promotional videos. Okay, so in 10 seconds, anyone, they're not in any industry, if they don't know anything about you, they can tell what you do. That's it. We call it like the grunt test. People have very little brain power and they don't want to get your brand noticed. Promote your brand or whatever. Okay, when we promote your brand. Okay, so then we have something called the CTA. The CTA is your call to action, and it's very important to put it there in your header. Your CTA is what you want people to do when they come to your website. So standard one is contact us. I'll give you this one to get a quote. Book a free call if you like a consultant. Anything like that. And you really want to have those, they're called CTAs, call to action, not to be fancy, on your page, right? What people are not coming to look at your website to be pretty. They're coming because you want them to do something. And what do you want to make them do? Okay. The next section, which we go into, is called your summary section. So we go a little bit more into your value proposition. Okay, so your value proposition is what makes you uniquely you, the benefits you give to clients, who you serve, and a bit of a summary like that, kind of like your elevator pitch. So let's go with a different kind of business here. Is there anyone here in the audience who wants to pop anything into the chat? No. Okay, about their website. Really, don't be nervous, don't be scared. Okay, you don't always need the section, but sometimes you do. So let's go with, I'm just trying to think who was in the group last week. Both Charlene, just because I remember that she was here. And the other thing is you always want to talk in first person. So not they, not them, you want to talk as you're talking to a person, right? This is a sales conversation. It's like a normal person. You don't want to be snooty, jargony, third person. You're a person selling to another person. Whoever you are, B2B, B2C, corporates, there's a person on the other side reading your site. Okay, so your summary is an experienced audiologist who helps these people do X through this. You can also write here, it depends who I help. And then you could also sometimes we go into something called like a pain section. Say, are you struggling with this? You could also look at that, right? So for Shimon, you could say, are you trying to, complete your GMAT and not managing? We can help. Okay. So now there are a few different options for this section, but really it's like not an introduction. Don't think of it an introduction as in an essay, but think of like someone can get a little bit more detail who you are. And we're really trying to do is pull people deeper and deeper into the page and keep attention there by giving them short snippets of valuable information which they care about. Are you struggling with this? So if we're looking at Charlene, you actually might go into your PASS. So now when I write a website, there are many, many different factors I take into account. In marketing, we call it levels of awareness. If somebody has never heard of a hearing aid, we're going to talk to them differently as somebody who knows exactly what a hearing aid is. If someone knows what a promotional video is or they don't. So a very, very safe way to go is always to go with your pain section first. Are you struggling with this? So what's it? Hearing your grandchildren talk. And obviously, the more you know about your clients, the more the more you'll be able to do this accurately. Participate in Shabbat meals. I'm just saying that if she's talking to the audience. And can you see how simply I'm talking? I'm just talking like a person. I'm like really trying to, and I'm doing this on purpose. It's funny that it's easy to write fancy and complicated and, sound all, clever. The hard thing is to get your point across sounding simple. And that's what copywriters do. We try to get your point across sounding as simple as we can, which is relevant enough to your audience. Participate in Shabbos meals, understand your, your friends, whatever. Are you struggling like this? Okay, so we call it a PAS. Anyone who knows anything about marketing will know that this is the most classic marketing formula. You can go look at anything. Are you struggling with this? Then we do a little bit of agitation, which is kind of showing you why your problem is really a big problem and it deserves a bit of help. And you can really cool go into like pretty much any website, any brochure. It's all kind of, a lot of it is based on a formula. There's another thing called ADA, but I'll just pop it here for anyone who kind of likes information. It's called the PAS formula, and the other one's called the ADA formula. It's a very standard one in websites. I'm not going to show it to you in a lot of them. It's very simple. It's foolproof. It just works, right? So you say, are you struggling with this? Yes, I know. It really sucks. And it's even worse because of this. You're not trying to be horrible. You're just trying to empathize with them, show them you understand what they are. Say, now I'm going to say, hearing loss impacts every area of your life. Your relationships, say it's really hard, okay? It's really hard. Now I'm going to introduce the solution. Our solution, so this is what you're, okay? So I'm really just kind of dumping a lot of information at you, but I want to just give you an idea of where we're going, right? So it's your PAS, your pain, agitation, and solution. And now I'm going to go, another pain, which Charlene will be talking about. Maybe you having spent thousands on hearing aids and they don't work, right? You want to get specific. You want to talk to someone and like they actually people. So maybe for Shimon, you've bought the book, you've gotten you've even like downloaded a course and you're still not managing because it's too hard, it's too frustrating, it's too overwhelming, blah, blah, blah. You want to show them, empathize, that you know where they're at, you understand their struggles, you really get them. And then we go into the solution. So now we go into the solution. You get hearing aids that fit you perfectly because I spend time with you. Okay, this is not how I would write a website, but you want to really showcase your solution and also the benefits. So you could say, transform your life with hearing aids. Okay, so we want to remember what we spoke about before is those benefits. We always want to bring the benefits into the copy, always want to bring the benefits into the messaging, right? So I'm going to get hearing aids that fit me perfectly. Okay, what's the difference? Transform my life, right? Transform the quality of your life, right? Did you hear the benefits? Right? Okay, so that's my offer. My offer is I'm selling you, right? There's a saying in copywriting which I absolutely love, which goes like this. We're selling a child Superman, not the cape. So when you're selling a child or selling a person something, you're selling them a better version of themselves. You're not selling them the item, okay? So wherever you are, you have to think of who you're selling them. So for Shimon, you're selling them, their actualized version of themselves. Their person is achieving their potential. Their person who can now follow their dreams, right? You really got to dig deep into who these people are and what they care about. Okay, so I'm using Charlene because it's pretty easy to understand. And this is your benefit, right? When you have great hearing aids, the quality of your life is improved. You can say improve, that fit you perfectly. Okay, fit perfectly and work exactly as you need them. Okay, so now the next section is pretty simple. What I want to show you is you want to use grids, icons, spaces. So instead of listing things in a list, which is hard for people to read, you want to try use grids if you can. You want to try use icons if you can, icons and names to make it visually appealing for you, as well as a lot of white space. So you can either write services, you can write what I offer, how I can help. Okay, so if we're talking about Charlene, just because it's an easy one to do, we can do assessments, home support, fitting and training. Okay, I don't know if that's right, Charlene. I don't know if you're on the call or not. I don't think you are. Okay, so that's what you offer services, fitting things, right? You see how clear this is. It's saying you have this problem. It's really hard. I understand. Imagine if you could get this transformation. Now we go into the nitty-gritty of what I offer. Okay, so you can also go into a little bit of detail about this, one line about this. You see that I'm not using a lot of paragraphs. I'm using a lot of white space. Headings, if you've got a designer, I'm really making it really readable for your audience. Writing for the web is not the same as writing a great article in a magazine or in a newspaper or someone who's a good naturally writer. I've written feature articles in international magazines for years, but over the last 2 years, I've trained in writing for websites. And it's really like a very specific science, because you don't want to write a whole spiel. You don't want to write a whole story. You really want to structure in a way which people can really read it easily and consume it easily and doesn't put them off. Okay, so when you go onto a website which has tons of words, your eyes just skim over, because that's how we interact with the web. Okay, so it's very much about the message you're saying and also how you're going to lay it out on the page. Okay, so you could use some icons here. Okay, I see something in the chat. Hold on. What book do you represent? Okay, there's a whole bunch. There's probably Eugene Schwartz I would start with, but I can get your list after if you want to email me. I'll just put my email in the chat at the end. Okay. Okay, so now you're saying that you can do this. And again, focus on the benefits. Say, get an accurate assessment, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is the benefit of an assessment? Find out exactly what your hearing loss is with a state of the art technology. I really wouldn't write like this, but I want to just give you an idea of what needs to go in each section and why it needs to go in there. So these are your services, what you offer. If you only offer one service, that's also fine. Okay, Now, the next thing we do, now here's what people do wrong, even big companies. They make a page called Testimonials. No one cares about your testimonials. They're not going to go to that page. Remember what I said, we're making an argument in a court of law. Your testimonial is a way to prove that you can do what you've said, okay? So the best fit testimonials are the ones which I showed you last week. They also, if you can, have a picture of your client, their real name, and their company. And then they have 2 or 3 lines telling them specifically the pain you solve for them and how you change their life. So we don't want to say, Charlene is amazing. So we really don't care about that, okay? Oh, Charlene, and all of you are amazing. We want to say something like, I have been to 7 audiologists and never found a solution. Charlene took the time and interest. She spent many hours with me and sourced me a very special hearing aid from Germany. And now I can actually have a laugh. Okay. Okay, so you really want to talk about in detail what people did for you. If you take away one thing, this is really the one thing to take away is Charlene is amazing, is not helpful. You really want to go in detail. This whole concept of less is more, no. People trust people. People trust other people, and it's called social proof. Now we can go a little bit more into the benefits and features of your offer. Anyone? Okay, there's a chat. Should we feature video? Yes, you can definitely feature video testimonials. I would do a combination of both. So 2 or 3 of each for the people who are not going to take the time. I don't ever read video testimonials unless I'm super, super interested. So you want to do both. Okay, so your features and your benefits. Okay. Remember, and again, lay it out in grids, in carefully spaced out paragraphs. A paragraph should have like maximum 2-3 sentences in it, and a heading, bullet points, all stuff like that to make it readable for your user. You really don't want to take your sales brochure and plunk it onto your website. You really don't want to write a few nice words and a few nice paragraphs and a whole spiel about what you do and plunk it onto your website. People are going to just get bored and disappear in 3 seconds. Don't write about what you believe. Don't write about what you care about. We know you. And if you write we, bring it back to the you. So features and benefits. Okay. Go with another client, and let's go back to this like software system. Who wants to know is a software? Anyone else want to pop? Anyone want to throw out an example of a different service or industry? So I could just move away from the hearing aids and give other examples. I'm trying to think of who was there. Well, let's. I'll just remember that Shimon was talking about his GMAT product, and so it's completely online. Okay, online, pre-recorded. Okay, so pre-recorded. So the feature is that it's pre-recorded. What's the benefit of being recorded? So what that is pre-recorded? It means that you can study at your own pace, your own time. Perfect for you if you have a job or have study at your own time in your own pace, right? Okay, so that's a big benefit of having an online GMAT program. Study at your own pace in your own time. Okay, another feature of like an online learning program would be personal support. I don't know if you have that or not, right? So you don't personal support. So you get, see here, you get your own dedicated mentor to email questions to. They'll answer within 24 hours. Okay, if that's true. Okay, so you're never stuck. So you're never. Okay, personal support. Okay, you get. This is how it helps you. Even if we do this, how does it help you? Okay, so you've got pre-recorded study in your own time. What else? Maybe this is another thing which could be like really useful, is a online community. Get support, motivation from the students with our don't need to do it alone. Hey, you hearing my you. Okay, anyone else want to throw out a feature? Okay, so these are really just examples. There are myriads of different ways of doing this, but when you go into websites which talk to you and call your name, you'll notice that they all have a combination or permutation of things like this. How it makes my life better, okay? Another feature or benefit might be, right, so now we've talked about technical ones, it might be that you have 23 years of experience. What does it mean that you have 23 years of experience in your industry? What does it actually mean? It means that so say I'm a labor lawyer, it means I know all types of labor law and can handle all your case and can handle anything you bring to me. Okay, so you hear I'm talking about I'm talking about me and but I'm taking it back to the client. Okay, so your experience is a lot, right? And then at 23 years of experience, what else might it be? I don't know, it could be a lot of different things. The features and benefits of you. Why you? Right? What makes you special? Right? So you talk about a product, or anyone selling a product here, your features would be something like, let's talk about, I love my NutriBullet. That's my NutriBullet is 900 watts. You know what that means to me in real life? It means I can easily blend my bananas smoothly. Okay. What is here is a feature. Very easy actually to see features and benefits when you're talking about products. The feature, and that's my benefit. Okay, right? Okay, so I'm talking about my, let's think of something else. I just got a new phone. It's not very nice. I mean, it is very nice. Let's think of, if you're talking about a product, you want to really like say why that is important, right? Another feature might be your service, right? Right, you might have amazing customer service. Okay, that's a feature of your and the benefit of having amazing customer service is you get your clients serviced that day. Okay, so again, a feature is anything which makes you uniquely you, and your benefit is what that makes a difference to your client, right? And the way to actually do this is to talk to your clients, to understand why they like you, what is amazing about you. And let me think of another feature. So I think we all know about online shopping, right? So your online, say you were writing something for an app, like your Pick and Pay bottles or your ASAP app, right? So it's like guaranteed delivery, 2 hours, okay? Your money back. You're really starting to sell now. You're really starting to tell them why you are so good. All right, and if I'm going to compare to Checkers and they don't have guaranteed delivery, now I can tell why are they special, why are they different, what is actually different about them. They might not be that different, but you really still want to like bump up your features. Okay, now we're making a case, remember? So more social proof. Okay, so we can put in another testimonial. Other thing, what else we could put in? We could put in our years of experience, right? Even though that was up there, we could also, if we didn't, we could put it there. We could say your training and qualifications, right? If that's relevant. Let's say you're a legal professional or you any form of professional, and that makes you more credible and trustworthy and adds to the experience. You've done courses, you've done things that show you really invest in your profession, put that in there. Say you are a member of a different affiliation. Say you have spoken in front of a certain audience. You have been published somewhere. Anything which will bolster your impressiveness, okay? And then, finally, before I forget this, very important, you want to put in your happy clients. Okay, so your logos are happy clients, okay? Clients, this is where you put in your logos. Okay, So what other kind of, right, you could say number of years experience, number of years in the industry, number one. I've seen this quite a lot recently. Google rated plumber in Johannesburg, right? You really want to bring in as much proof as you can. Okay, so this is your logos one, your logos two. So obviously if you're working in B2C, which is, you know, working in consumers, you're not going to have logos. But if you're working in, you know what, I'm trying to think of what other credentials you could bring in here. You go back to this page and see if I've left anything out. Clients, accreditations, okay. So anything which bolsters, makes you more, not more impressive, shows how impressive you actually are. Okay, and this is not the time to be shy. It's not the time to be, you know, if you're a member of a certain organization, if you're a member of a profession, if you are credited by a certain thing, if you have a certain ranking, you know, I don't know. There's so many different things depending on each industry. Like if you, say you were an app, you would say, I've got 458,000 downloads on, okay, right? Okay. Impressive. But it really depends on your industry and what your product is. But look for things which prove that you are good at what you do. The final process, and the final thing to add in, because this is a one-page website and because it's a good thing to do, is just to say how it works. What happens next when you call me? So again, put things in stages, in steps, a la grids of 3. You can do it in grids below of 3, icons, words, headings, like that. So 1, so fill out this form. So you fill out this form. You want to tell people what to expect. We'll send you a quote, depending on what your process is, in 24 hours. You sign and we begin. Okay, so it really depends on what your process is, but you want to tell people what to expect. They know what's going to happen once they click the CTA and what's going to happen. Finally, you want to put in your contact details, and your phone number, email address, website, whatever you've got, and best time to contact you, and your social media handles if you have them, as much as you can. Don't leave that out. And I would even put it in at the top here. Now, finally, what I'd also like you to put in here is 1 or 2 lines about who you are. If you're a person, you can put in a brief summary of who you are. I'm a speech therapist with a passion for, you know, because normally that would go on your about page. Because I'm walking you through a one-page website, you know, it doesn't have to go up there, but somewhere a picture of you and your team, or you by yourself, will increase trust and likability. You might want to you know, it doesn't have to be a fancy picture, but, you know, I'm me, I've got this and this qualifications. Where would I put it if I was on this website? And I'd probably put it under here just based on what I've done here. Who I am and what services I offer. Yeah. Like I said, being a copywriter has a lot of decisions. Now you can see when you see why a copywriter charges so much money, there's so much thought and science and research which goes into every single piece. What I'm hoping is this has given you a little bit of a framework to write your own homepage. This can be used as a single at the bottom. This can be used as a single standalone page or a full homepage or a full website. So if you have a 5-page website, you could use this. The CTA, contact us, right? And that should go to a form. You want to have a built-in form maybe on your site if it's a 1-page site. Make it really easy for people to get hold of you. You know how many times I've gone to service providers and like there wasn't a built-in form, and I just like had no patience to copy and paste their name into Gmail, and I just left them. Okay, so really make it very, very easy. You could have a WhatsApp button. I love that, but I love WhatsApp buttons on websites, especially person. WhatsApp and it goes directly onto your site. So you can go back into this page. So here we can play. So if we go back to what Daniel said, so a feature would be that it is highly affordable. Oh, right, that's a feature, highly affordable. Okay. How you achieve that. Say lots and lots of different things you include. That really depends on your process, on your service, and your industry. Generally, services pages are slightly different to your product pages. They have the same psychology behind it, but how it looks on the outside is a little different. We've done, and the ones I've been talking about are your service pages, which I think most of us are in that industry. Okay, any questions? I know I've dumped a lot of information at you. I hope it's just given you some form of ability to go and fix up your website, get more people to it, and feel more confident about the messaging you're putting out there. And the other thing is, it's important, is this messaging should go through all your marketing materials. If you're talking on Facebook, talk like this, you. If you are writing emails, talk benefits, talk features, talk like a person. Don't use big words, don't use fancy words, don't say innovative and revolutionize and all those things like that. Talk like you would talk to a real person, because that's who's reading your information, real people in the end. And that's one of the biggest, that's how you tell that's one of the biggest differentiators between the biggest differentiator between a well-written site or well-written marketing material and marketing materials no one ever reads is it's written like a person. Okay, so I'm pasting this document in here. I'll leave it exactly as it is so you can all go and see it. It's messy, it's a work in progress, but it will give you a reminder of where to go from here. Anyone have any questions? I feel like I've just spoken a huge amount. I'm also going to put my email address in here because I know that last week a few people wanted to get a hold of me. So please do give me a call, give me an email if you want to just further, and we can go from there. Okay. Any other questions? Was everyone totally overwhelmed and their head spinning? Because mine is. Basically, this process of writing a homepage normally takes me like 4 weeks.
So I think from my side, we often tend to overcomplicate things and think that